Hello, sports fans. Great to be back with you. Let's start in the NBA, and let's be honest. The NBA playoffs has been flat out awful this year. I told you back in October, you could fast forward the regular season, you could fast forward the first 3 rounds of the playoffs. We're going to get Golden State and Cleveland for the 3rd year in a row because the best team in the NBA always wins. Golden State last night beat San Antonio. They sweep away the Spurs 4-0. Golden State is 12-0 in the playoffs. San Antonio had no chance with Parker and Leonard being out. I mean, I had a huge problem when Durant joined Golden State. The Warriors won it 2 years ago. They set the regular season wins record last year. They were a hair away from going back-to-back before Cleveland rallied. And Durant joins this team. Durant had a nice team in OKC. He was with Westbrook. They pushed Golden State to 7 games. I would have liked to have seen Durant stay in OKC. I like Durant. I think he's a fabulous player. Always plays for the USA Dream Team all the time. But this is ridiculous. Joining Golden State, this is like an Olympic team, this team. They have so many players. Durant didn't need to go here. This was ridiculous. I mean, so the NBA playoffs in general, how many bad series have there been? How many bad games have there been? So Golden State back in the finals for the 3rd year in a row. They await the winner of the Eastern Conference. Cleveland right now leads Boston 2-1. Game 4 tonight in Cleveland. Listen, great job by Boston winning Game 3. Isaiah Thomas out for the playoffs with that hip injury. Boston showed a lot of grit, a lot of guts. They never quit in this game. Give them all sorts of credit, but make no mistake about it. Cleveland's going to win tonight, and they're going to win the series. Make no mistake about it. And this is not anything against Boston. They played hard the other day. They did a great job. Cleveland got a little complacent. They saw a team without their star, and they didn't play their best game. They'll win tonight and win the series, and you will have Golden State and Cleveland for the 3rd year in a row. By the way, Boston wins the NBA lottery, so they have the #1 pick. Great job by the Brooklyn Nets, by the way, giving away their picks to the Celtics for like the next 100 years. Brooklyn's going to win 10 games for like the next 10 years. So the Celtics have the #1 pick. The Celtics should trade that pick, try and get a star, maybe get Paul George, Butler, somebody, because Boston needs more. They have a nice team. They have Thomas. They need more stars. Unless they think one of these kids coming out of college is going to be a star right away. I don't know that. I mean, I know the kid from UCLA Ball looks like a fabulous player, but you got to deal with his father and all that nonsense. I know the Lakers are looking at him with the 2nd pick. I mean, to me, if I'm Boston, trade that pick, maybe get Paul George, maybe get Butler, maybe another star, because you're going to need another star to pair with Isaiah Thomas, and you hope Isaiah Thomas, that hip injury is not too serious. So that is where you are in the NBA. Not much going on there. In the NHL, we have Game 6 tonight in Ottawa in the Eastern Conference. Pittsburgh leads the Senators 3-2. The first 4 games of the series was nip and tuck, low-scoring games. They were playing Ottawa style. Game 5 was all Penguins. They routed Ottawa 7-0. Went back to Murray in goal, which I thought was a good decision by the Pittsburgh coach. Now listen, in hockey, momentum does not carry over sometimes. I saw Edmonton blow out Anaheim like 8-1, and the next time they played, Anaheim won like 2-1. So momentum does not carry over in hockey. Don't be surprised if Ottawa plays a big-time game tonight. I do expect Pittsburgh to get through in the series, but I could see Ottawa winning and forcing a Game 7. Give the Penguins a lot of credit for these back-to-back runs. They win the Cup last year. They're in the conference finals, 1 win away from the finals this year. They've had a lot of injuries. Their goalie was out just until recently. They lost Letang, their best defenseman for the playoffs. Crosby was out. They've had some injuries. Give them a lot of credit. Unlike the Washington Capitals, and I should have mentioned this last week, how gutless are the Washington Capitals? Never won a cup, can't even get out of the 2nd round, and again lose to the Penguins. Ovechkin and company, gutless. They have no grit. They have no fight. I cannot believe they went out like dogs again this year with that powerhouse team. They can't even get out of the 2nd round. Just gutless job by the Washington Capitals. So that's the Eastern Conference. As far as the West, the Nashville Predators get out of the West and they get to their first Stanley Cup final. Congratulations to the people down in Nashville. Nashville beats Anaheim 4-2. The Predators have been on fire in these playoffs. Swept away Chicago 4-0. Beat St. Louis 4-2, and then took care of Anaheim 4-2. The goalie, Rene, has been absolutely outstanding. I said at the beginning of the playoffs, you get a hot goalie, you can go far. Nashville's doing that. Forsberg doing some good things. They are really a gutty, gritty team, Nashville. How about the coach, Laviolette, for Nashville? Won a cup with Carolina, took the Flyers to a cup final, and now takes Nashville to a cup final, and he did some good things with the Islanders. Laviolette, a very underrated coach. So Nashville, great job by them getting to the Stanley Cup finals. As far as the Preakness, Cloud Computing wins the Preakness. Had a nice duel there with Classic Empire at the end. Always Dreaming fell way back, so we will not have a Triple Crown winner this year. And I did watch some boxing over the weekend, and I'll tell you, you watch boxing and you just have to shake your head. Nothing ever goes right for boxing. It's just one mess after another. Showtime and HBO put on a boxing card this past weekend, and the good thing about it is they didn't conflict the times. Usually they put their shows on the same time. Showtime came on early, and then HBO was later on. So that was the good news. As far as the actual cards, first of all, the Showtime card, the first fight was absolutely atrocious as far as the way it was scored. You always get that in boxing. The scoring in boxing is just so messed up. So the first fight, you got a terrible scoring. Then the second fight, Andre Durrell wins by disqualification because Zakagi, I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, he gets disqualified for hitting Durrell after the bell for the second time in the fight, deserved to get disqualified. Then Durrell's brother, who's ringside, is trying to get into the ring. He's pushing security guards. Then Durrell's uncle, I believe, at the minutes later, after everything's settled down, he sucker punches the other fighter. So, I mean, he's getting charged with assault. He's going to be banned for a year. He's got all sorts of charges against him. Total chaos in the ring. I understand Durrell has been knocked out before after the bell against Arthur Abraham, and it caused him some serious injuries. I understand that, but you cannot have one of your cornermen 10 minutes after the fight sucker punch the other fighter. You just can't have that. So you get that chaos. Then in the main event, Gary Russell Jr. wins by TKO in an absolutely one-sided fight, which was not competitive at all. So that was that Showtime card. Then I go to HBO. The undercard, Beltran knocks out Masilio, and Masilio has to be carried out of the ring. Thank goodness he's okay, so you get that. And then you get Crawford Diaz. That's a one-sided mess. Crawford is so much better than a fighter like Diaz, and it was just a one-sided mess, and finally the fight had to be stopped. Crawford wins easily. I mean, I don't need to see these type of fights. One-sided messes. That's the problem with boxing. There's no good matchups. There's no good scoring. You know, a lot of the fighters want to duck the other good fighters. I mean, it's terrible. Crawford Diaz? Diaz shouldn't be in the ring with Crawford. I mean, Gary Russell Jr. and Crawford are better than these fighters. Then I hear Mayweather, babbling away saying he would beat Triple G, Golovkin easily. Like, Mayweather's ever going to fight Golovkin, please. Meanwhile, Mayweather's babbling away about fighting Conor McGregor in that farce so they can rob the public, charge him $100 for that nonsense, and have Mayweather win a unanimous decision. I mean, give me a break. Conor McGregor is a UFC fighter. He's a UFC fighter. He's not a boxer. I mean, this is what it's come down to. I mean, talk about just trying to fool the public. I am not buying that fight. I am telling you right now, I am not buying it. I'll watch the replay on the internet. I'll follow the round by round on ESPN. I am not buying that fight on general principle. Anyway, there you go. You guys are all caught up. By the way, if you guys are interested in a nice event here in the States over Memorial Day weekend, check out the College Lacrosse Final Four up in Boston. It's a really good event. I've been to the event before. It's very exciting. If you don't know too much about lacrosse, check it out. It's usually very exciting. If you're up in the Massachusetts area, try and get to that. Very exciting event. You got the semifinals on Saturday, the finals on Monday. It's really, really good stuff. There you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. Next week, I'll be back with you next Tuesday. We'll be in the NBA and the NHL finals. You guys, thanks as always for the support. Pick a lot of winners, make a lot of money. You want to bet tonight? Definitely take the Cavaliers. They ain't losing tonight. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Take care.